no idea how long I've been investing my time during my break time, specifically playing this Genshin Impact. And also, it's because of one of the reasons is because my friend told me 2 years ago. During that time, she played the game first. She said that there's an element of international relations, aka IR, things that we've learned during college in this game. So I was like, oh, are you serious? I was like, what? And then she told almost everything that they have included in the game, like the diplomacy stuff, the political conflict, and so on. If I'm saying that, those kind of things. But since it's because I was too busy with work that time, there's assignment that I need to do. It's kind of to about a year or 2 year, something like that. To keep the wish to play the game on hold. And then this year I happen to get the chance for that. Although I do have assignments, but should I say that I really need something like a break for my set, a break for that, to cut off the stress. So I tried this game. It's really beautiful. It's very aesthetic. But of course, what intrigues me is the fact that these IR elements, the ideology, political ideology that they included as the background setting of each region. For example, like Sumeru, we have like some sort of monarchy. I'm not sure. But I think it's not monarchy. Let's talk about that later. And then we have Monstadt as democracy, and we have Leeway is like liberalism, and Inazuma is kind of like authoritarian. But all those the other thing like Leeway, Inazuma, and also Sumeru, we're gonna try to break it down later on. But first thing first, we'll try to get in depth with the Mondstadt, the very first city that the protagonist, which is ourselves, called as the traveler, to step in after all the hurdles, like what happened. I would like to tell you more about it, but I'm not sure where to start. So with all due respect, you could Google it yourself for that. If I feel like diligent much to do that, I might have make another video for it to explain. But there are so many lore information whatsoever, so yeah, you guys can try check it out. Okay, so first thing first, let us get to know and understand, at least briefly, generally, on what is democracy. Alright, okay, first thing first, democracy is actually derived from the combination of Greek words, two Greek words, become one. So demos means people, and then kratos as in power. So together, these words combined become the power of people, like how we know today, when the people demand for equality of job between male and female, and those kind of things. And then the leader, the state leader, granted it something that based on they're based on majority actually. So the more people support the idea, the more that likely it will push the state leader to make it come true. But also at the same time, it depends on situation. Regardless how majority the people demand for it, it has to be suitable with the country principle itself actually, which is why sometimes some country trying to develop a democratic initiation. It depends on what issues that they bring, whether it's colliding with the nature of the state itself. It's quite complicated actually. It's not as simple as people doing demonstration on the road and wishing for whatever, like free masks today on COVID. Like we don't want to wear a mask. It's some part of it not necessarily being granted. So it depends. Okay, back to the principle of the democracy that upholds. First is individual autonomy, meaning that people have choice to live their life to their best, whether they are Muslims, they are Christians, they are Chinese, or wherever races and religion they are in that in living in that state. They have their autonomy, the power to live their life, as long as they're not trying to cause disruptions to other people. That's the boundaries. And then secondly is equality, because where everyone has the same opportunity. For example, like both male and female have the same opportunity in job employment in that state, no discrimination, something like that. So yeah. So for Monstadt, I happen to link the background setting with the political ideology of democracy, because one of the reason is through the character speech, the NPC, like Venti. It's kind of like give away the word freedom, as Monstadt, free of life, something like that. So in my opinion, my personal opinion, before I try to dig in more the possibility of why Monstadt is a democracy, is probably because the lifestyle of the Monstadt people itself is they don't seem to be afraid of talking anything. Literally, it's freedom. They have freedom of expression, and yeah. I can't remember if they talk about politics in that, but sort of, and they don't seem to be afraid. Oh yeah. One of the giveaway is because there's a fatwa diplomacy in Monstadt, like some kind of representative from the fatwa organization, and the people are feeling very displeased with their presence. Like, you're annoying, like you're causing ruckus in our city. I don't like you. That kind of vibe, and they don't mind expressing their displeased. And then also the among the elite soldier, like Yuela, I can't remember her background, but it's something similar to the fatwa, like an elite organization. They don't seem pleased with it, and they're not afraid to express their dissatisfaction towards it, like I don't like you, go away, those kind of things. And then the second giveaway that I found, why I technically democracy is not something new. It's already been initially introduced in 5th century BC during ancient Greeks at the city of Athens. So that one is like the classic democracy kind of thing. But nowadays the democracy has been evolved. We call it the modern democracy. So it's different from the classic democracy during the Athens time. First thing first is because during the previous days of democracy, during the Greek times, it's a form of direct democracy, meaning that instead of elected representatives to govern, the people themselves around the table to discuss. Unlike nowadays modern democracy, where we have representatives to represent the people, bringing the ideas and such. So secondly is the compared to the modern democracy, the members are generally up to 50,000, which is just males. Women, slaves, children are excluded out of a population 300,000 people. during the ancient times of democracy. So that's the difference between the modern democracy and also the classic democracy, literally. So yeah. And then last but not least, as promised, I would like to differentiate our question just now. What's the difference between anarchy and democracy, the principle? So may it first of all, it may seem like similar, almost same, because these two holding the principle of freedom, like people power, as to rule the states, those kind of thing. But what differentiate between these two? One of the point that distinct between anarchy and democracy itself is the fact that democracy still has rules and boundaries. Like you're free to uphold your wills to do whatever you want to do in your life. Like you want to have a child, you want to go to work in any company, or you want to initiate a business, a monopoly business and whatsoever, go ahead. But there's a boundaries to that, and also there's a reason to that, so that there won't be so that the issues won't go beyond of what it should be, like something like disruptions. Yeah. just to make sure that you have a voice to express your thoughts on politics and so on. But just to be clear that you're in the right line to do that. You don't get overboard. Yeah, don't get overboard. So that's all. For example, like if for example, in Malaysia, we partially practice democracy kind of thing. I mean, people have voice. You could talk about politics. You could express your thoughts. However, there's a rules and also conditions on what you should express your thoughts. Meaning that if you want to express your rights, you want to express your thoughts on politics, just make sure that you don't actually touching the certain sensitivities such as races in Malaysia, or maybe in terms of religions, especially Islam, and also even the sultan's role, responsibility in the state. So those three are kind of the thing sensitive to be considered into your discussion, right? So just be careful on that. And then for the anarchy. So for the anarchy, they technically like lack of discipline, meaning that the people rules. I kind of forgot which country practiced the anarchy, but I might try to note down the country that practice anarchy in the description later on, I guess. So yeah, the difference between democracy and anarchy just now is because it's the fact that anarchy literally lack of disciplines. They rely on people power to rule, to govern the state. So yeah, basically, so linking from the description, observation from the Monstadt background setting as a state region. I think it's technically possible that Monstadt is actually under democracy instead of anarchy, although Venti literally like turning the Monstadt into a state without leader, because he's I don't want to be a leader anymore, like, I'm quit this. I believe in people and so on, so it become the stateless leader or something like that. So yeah, even so, while the rules of Favonius Night are still in action, people still abide by the rules and so forth. I kind of believe that the Monstadt are still under the democracy itself. I mean, the Favonius Night are can be considered as the like second in command, the current leader of the Monstadt at that point. So yeah, but if you happen to have other thoughts on this, you might as well can share your opinion in the comments down below. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. So disclaimer, I almost forgot to mention this disclaimer, I'm not an expert in this kind of IR thingy, although I do learn, but I'm not considered myself an expert. So I'm very much welcoming your discussion and thoughts about this, which is very interesting to me to experience the fact that there's a political ideology being included in a game. It's such to me, it's such a rare opportunity to experience the plot story of such realistic political conflict and ideology itself. So yeah, I guess that's all. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.